Hi, this is Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. And I want to continue with this topic that speaks about functions, ministry functions of an elder as prescribed by the Bible. Ministry functions of an elder as demanded by the Bible itself. And I want to start today by saying an elder needs to have a positive attitude. And that's what the Bible demands out of an elder, a positive attitude from an elder. The book of Philippians chapter 2, verse 14 and 15 emphasize and embark on this point that you need to have positive attitude as a leader. Now remember that a positive attitude is influential. It becomes also infectious as well. That as a leader or an elder, when you become a person with a positive attitude, it does infect the people as well. And we find that the congregation will be actually also having positive attitude that is actually infected by you, that is following your trend and what you do. When you have got negative attitude, what it does, it discourages the people because they cannot see anything positive when the leadership don't see anything positive. And I've seen in many places whereby the leaders see failure in some situations, and therefore you cannot see a congregation that will see success where the leadership sees failure. Therefore, positivity becomes very important. That even though it is difficult, and I've seen some churches that have been built particularly out of the resources that were not there because the leader was positive enough. And you find that bigger budgets, very expensive structures and churches have been built actually by the positive attitude of the leader. When the leader or the elders are having positive attitude towards even a difficult task becomes easier because of the attitude that you have towards it. And I want to emphasize that as an elder, I know that you know this exactly. That most of the things that we fail or succeed in them, it depends mainly on the attitude. Where you have had a negative attitude, nothing has been successful. And I want to urge you as a leader, as an elder, that you adopt a positive attitude in everything that you do. The book of Philippians chapter 2, verse 14 to 15 emphasizes good attitude. That a good attitude brings success in everything that you touch and do. And I cannot emphasize this enough. Now, elders are to lead a disciplined lifestyle. And that is another function that you need to embark on as a leader, as an elder. What we call disciplined lifestyle. Now, a disciplined lifestyle is a lifestyle that everybody can look up to and say, I want to be like that elder, based on the discipline. Because remember that a character is formed out of discipline. An exemplary life, as I've said earlier, that role modelship will only develop where there's discipline. When you have got a life that is not disciplined enough, you are not going to become the role model that you want to be. Because remember that the pathway that you take and the road that you take is the same road that your followers will take. Remember that I've said earlier that to others you are the only Bible that they can read. Because when they look at your lifestyle, if it is not disciplined, they are not going to be disciplined either. It is not going to show an example that is necessary unto the people in the church. And they're not going to know how discipline looks like. Because if the leadership is not disciplined themselves, therefore it is problematic. Let's give you an example. If we are going to declare fasting and prayer, and then an elder cannot be able to discipline themselves by fasting and praying as well, this is not going to set up a good trend, an example. And none of the church members will feel encouraged actually to be disciplined in prayer and fasting while the leadership cannot actually fast and pray. If we are going to say then there must be a prayer meeting, there is a prayer meeting on such a day during the week, and the leadership is not disciplined enough to come to that particular meeting, nobody can be disciplined to come because the congregation is watching towards the leadership. And I want to emphasize that elders should be cognizant of that they are trendsetters. People look up to them. Whatever you do, if you are doing ill-disciplined approach, nobody will be disciplined because they will be looking up to you. The book of Galatians chapter 6, if you read verse 4 particularly, it will tell you about importance of disciplined lifestyle of a leader, disciplined lifestyle of an elder. So therefore, as an elder, be disciplined at all times, and your lifestyle should reflect discipline at all times, and then people will follow the lifestyle that you lead. Now, another thing about elders, which is a function as well, according to biblical prescription, is that elders need to be a woman or a man of faith. It is very important that the faith becomes part of your life. It becomes you. You live a life of faith. We are saying that as a Christian leader, faith becomes then the integral part of your life. Because without faith, it is impossible to please God, according to the Bible. Therefore, you cannot please God as a leader if you don't have faith. So elders need to be a men and women of faith. 1 Samuel chapter 17 verse 37 emphasizes this fact that you need to be a man or a woman of faith. You become an example of trusting God even in difficult situations. Now, when an elder trusts God and become a person of faith, you cannot avoid the congregation becoming people of faith as well. Because they would have seen it from the leadership. They would have seen it from an elder believing God even in difficult situations. And I want to emphasize that you need to stand firm and believe God in difficult situations and become a man of faith. And as you become a man of faith, it becomes an example to the rest of the people as well. And the congregation can learn from you as well. And this is very important, that elders become men and women of faith. Now, the other thing about elders, it is very important that as an elder, you become a worshiper. Now, I want to emphasize the fact that worship is not singing. One might say, but you are saying I must be a worshiper, but I cannot sing. No, you don't necessarily need to sing if you don't know how to sing. So worship is not singing. But worship is the reverence of God, is the reverence of the Master. Now, if an elder is not able to worship, therefore the church cannot be able to worship either. Because worship establishes a relationship with God, and therefore it actually emphasizes the power of relationship with God through worship. The book of Revelation chapter 4, verse 10 and 11, you will actually emphasize this point that you need to be a worshiper as a leader. When you are a worshiper as a leader, your relationship with God becomes very strong. And you are able actually to lead others into stronger relationship with God when you yourself have got a relationship with God. Remember that worship is a means of establishing or strengthening relationship with God. Because worship actually is above just asking from God. Worship is part of prayer that acknowledges who God is. And in situations that people face and difficulties that people face, there must still be worship. Because worship is actually an appreciation of heart. From the depth of the heart, somebody is able to say, I appreciate you, God. I thank you for what you're doing. And I appreciate. And an elder should be that way, must be a worshiper. Now remember, as I said, that worship is not singing. So therefore, worship is appreciation from the depth of your heart. Ability to say thank you to God, ability to acknowledge who God is, because you don't acknowledge God just by what he has given to you, but by who he is. You acknowledge him and you respect and honor him because he is the greatest God. And when you acknowledge him that way, that is worship. Reverence him at all times. And as a leader, you become an example of the church as well, when worship then becomes part of your life. As I've mentioned that in the book of Revelation, chapter 4, verse 10 and 11. So please look at that. You'll realize that it becomes then pertinent and important for a leader to become a worshiper as well. And I want to close by saying elder should be able to protect the flock. An elder must be a protector of the flock. The book of Acts chapter 20, verse 28 to 31. An elder must be able to be a protector of the flock. And I must emphasize that because the flock must be protected. And many times you find elders who would even gossip about the flock, who will go around actually causing divisions amongst the flock, who are going around actually causing chaos in the church. And I want to emphasize that as an elder, you cannot do that. As an elder, you must be careful of how then you treat other people. You must not bring divisions in the church. In the book of Acts chapter 20, verse 28 to 31, look at it. The elder protects the flock. Very, very important. Because the flock may be exposed, as I've said, to deception in the first place. And if they are exposed to deception, please make sure that you protect them against deception. And there are those elders that invite even people that they don't know. And sometimes when you invite people to come and minister on your pulpit and you don't know the person, you might be exposing your own flock to dangerous wolves out there. So please make sure that even the invitation of speakers on the pulpit in your church, you make sure that you invite the right people that you know, that they're holding good stuff, they're holding good doctrine, to make sure that the people that you invite are going to teach the people the right doctrine and they'll never lead them astray. And that's very important. And that's one of the ways to protect your people from the wolves out there, to protect the flock as an elder, because that's very important that you protect the flock yourself. And I must emphasize this because protection of the flock is very key. You must be discerning in spirit. And when you are discerning in spirit, you would know also when there are spirits that are not right. And you'll be able to protect the flock that way. And I'm emphasizing this because this is more spiritual and deeper. Don't expose your flock to untoward spirits and untoward people as well. I want to end up here today. Your host, Micornus Phokane, the leader, the founder of Church Governance Solutions. Thanks very much for listening to this particular session. And I will finalize this topic with a session tomorrow. And I believe that you'll join us as we do so. Don't forget our Facebook page, Micornus Phokane, Facebook page, Church Governance Solutions. Like those pages, make sure that you click notification buttons on them. Our YouTube channel, subscribe to it. Make sure that you're part of that subscription. Click notification button as well. And we know that when you follow us there are a lot of materials that we've posted in the past that will be useful for your life. Your life shall never be the same as you follow us. We have posted on TikTok as well, and I hope this will help you in all these platforms where we post this material. You will be able to find more, and the good Lord will bless you. Allow me to check out right here and say cheers for now.